I'm starting this video all over again because with no script, all I had was I wrote down in my notes app what I wanted to talk about, so here I am in my YouTube video. I'm sorry if I don't have entertaining, like, B-roll to put over this. Maybe I will later when I'm editing. I don't know. Okay, this is my first time on YouTube. Hey. But, yeah, I'm about to start talking about just anything, to be honest. But, like, the first thing I really felt, like, passionate to make a whole entire video about, like, this pissed me off so bad that I'm gonna start a YouTube channel because I've seen it in so many people, and I just want to talk about things that I just don't hear a lot about, and I just notice, because I'm the type of person to observe. I'm a very observant, too self-aware, and you know what? Every flaw is kind of like, it's kind of something, like, you have to use your flaws like they're kind of like, you know, like it's a talent, like it's a gift. Like, my over observantness and my over self-awareness kind of bothers me, but it's also at the same time I'm grateful for it because now I can see the world from a different perspective that a lot of people can't really see from. Let me just get into the video. Holy yap session. But yeah, I basically am the type of person who is just constantly online, like many people. If you kind of like don't really have that much of a social life and you spend a lot of your time on the internet, like way too much, like your screen time 30, 40, 50 weeks, hours, I don't know, but you know what I'm saying, like a good chunk of your day is just on the internet, and like you start seeing patterns. If you're on there long enough, you start noticing things, you start seeing patterns, and then you go out and interact with the real world, and it's just kind of like a reflection of what you see online. Because everyone kind of sees, like, everyone fits into different categories of what they see on the internet, and that kind of shapes how they are, essentially. Because if you're not really doing much with your life, you can tell when somebody is a consumer or a creator. Okay, like, that's the tea of this. That's the tea of this. And so it becomes kind of more obvious once you start seeing, like, certain patterns. And I'm not telling anybody what they can and can't like. Oh my god. I don't know what it was. You know when you're doing something and you hit a flow state, and in your stomach, you feel like this internal bliss. Like that, it's like this, hey, you're on the right path. Like, you feel me? Like, I feel like this kind of like, okay, like I'm aligned with what I'm doing right now, and I feel it in my guts. Because it took me so long to make this video. But I want to talk to you about dopamine. Dopamine, okay? That is what I'm talking to you about. Basically, we are in a dopamine, like, oh my god, I'm gonna sound crazy, bro. Like, not crazy, but I'm gonna sound like those, like, unks that are like, yeah, get off, it's because of your phone, bro. It's this dopamine thing, bro. You're always on your dang phone. But, like, no, I want to, like, dive deeper into, like, a sociology kind of, like, lens of how this is affecting us. Let me stop yapping. Holy shit, it's gonna be hard to edit this video if I keep going off track. But hopefully you're still watching this, because this is a test. If you've gotten to 3 minutes into this video, you're probably not cooked. If you can make it to the end of this video, you have a bright future. You really do. You really, really do. Like, it's, oh my god. So this is my whole entire testimony with the whole dopamine thing, and I'm a great example of this. I kind of study myself. I'm kind of like my own guinea pig, and I feel like everyone should be like that. Everyone should have that sort of awareness. Everybody should kind of like sit back and be like, how does this affect me? How does that affect me? What about this personality is from what? Like, where did I get this from? What do I think about this? What does this make me feel? And, like, the less passive you are in your consumption, and the more of an active, conscious, like, thinker you are in everything that you do, you start to really police what you let into your mind and what you let into your identity. Because identity is, like, a key factor in our development and who you are. Like, I swear to God, identity, like, is so important. It is so important. And a lot of people kind of just they take advantage of that. They toss that to the side and be like, no, like, they hand over their identity to, like, other people, validation. That's a whole other video. But okay, on the dopamine thing, right? So I used to just I blame 2020. We all blame 2020, okay? Everybody had the most access to social media, being online. That was, like, our biggest taste of being chronically online. But me already being chronically online before that, it kind of really didn't make a difference, other than I just had no school, so I was just worse. But a lot of the time, our identities are kind of just, like, based on what we see. rather than what we experience. And so when we consume more than we create, and we kind of are just like a feedback, I feel like now the internet has become such an echo chamber. Okay, there was levels to this. At first, like 2020 was like the internet renaissance, bro. Like everybody was like expressing themselves so freely, and we had something so beautiful, bro. I don't know how to explain it. It was just so beautiful. People were really being themselves. And then like we had this like corny epidemic where everything was called corny. Bro, I keep merging all my YouTube videos together. That was supposed to be a whole different video, but you feel me, like people just need to let themselves think their own thoughts, and like, you know, let me just make a whole different video on that. Okay, we're talking about dopamine here. But basically, ooh, I'm not drinking energy drinks, bro. Ooh. We keep yearning to have like this sort of, I also, if my mic sounds weird, just let me know. But we spend so much time consuming, and like a lot of the time we get so used to what we see. Hold on. But like a lot of the things I liked weren't even really necessarily things that I liked. And a big thing that a lot of people don't want to confront is like their interests, like things that you like, and you kind of like, so let's just take it for example, like, you know how algorithms will push a certain thing to you? Like algorithms like to push a lot of like, just like the same sort of category, like fandoms, stuff like that, like stuff that's popular currently, like trends and stuff like that. There's nothing wrong with liking things that are trendy, but a lot of the time, people aren't really seeking out like different sort of things to like base their, like, to enjoy. Like they kind of like, you subconsciously start liking things that you know other people like because you kind of yearn for community, and you want to like things that you know other people like so you can be liked. And a lot of the time we had this extreme, especially since we weren't really socializing, we had this extreme desire for socialization and like community. And so rather than really building our own identities, we kind of like subconsciously build the identities of what other people are doing so we can be like other people and be similar in a way. And we just don't really realize we're doing it. It's all subconscious, really. Until you really sit there and you're like, who even am I for real? And the biggest thing with me, like with my dopamine shit, like a lot of the things I liked, I felt like I was LARPing. I felt like I was LARPing a lot of things so other people would like me. Like a lot of things that were like trending, a lot of things that people were talking about, I wanted to be involved in that. And that's a big thing, like wanting to be involved in something that's popular just for the sake of like having something you can talk about with people that the masses like. And then it got to a point where stuff kind of just started shrinking down and clumping together. And so the internet, like, that's one thing that I've observed, right? So there's like different internet personalities, and now these categories seem to get bigger and bigger, and they start to get more divided. So you know how you take like let's say you take a pie and you cut it into 16 pieces, right? So like there's like a little slice, everybody has a little slice of the internet, and then what they see, their algorithms kind of tailors to their personality. So each slice of the internet kind of makes up what they really think, what they see, what they do, what influences them, what they like to eat, what they like to buy, what they like to wear. And fashion, I have a big thing to say about fashion, okay? Because fashion and identity are very, very, like, they coexist very much. Because that's like how you can see somebody, you could literally make assumptions about somebody's identity. Well, not like stereotype wise, but like, you know, you feel me? Like, especially if you're alternative, like a lot of the time being alternative and seeing somebody that was alternative, like, meant that there's things you can talk about that are similar, like that they have like the same kind of, it's kind of a signal that like, hey, like if you're goth, like and you see another goth, like of course you're gonna be like, oh my god, they probably like the same music as me. But now if you see someone like that, it's probably usually not even the case anymore, and it's just to look cool. But a lot of the time we've kind of lost we yearn to have what they, like, the 90s and the 2000s had, with like third spaces and alternative fashion and being unique and different. But we're so obsessed with that, and so obsessed with being unique and being told what's unique. And like, have you guys seen like this whole thing with whimsy, like this whimsy trend? Like, I feel like that's the biggest thing. Like, whimsy seems like something that you can buy. Everything is just seems everything's been turned into consumption. And so identities have gone from like, oh my god, I like this and this and this. Like the slices of, okay, so back to what I was saying. There's 16 slices of the pie. Everyone gets their own slice of the internet, their own identity. As time moves forward, those slices get bigger, right? So certain slices kind of go together. So like it goes from 16 slices to like 4 slices, right? So like there's 4 compartments, kind of. Hear me out, okay? But it's just like, when do you really see unique, like, we consume so much of the same stuff, like even art and like a lot of media, a lot of music, media, art seems to just recycle. Like movies, they seem to just have like sequels, or I don't know, live action, sequel. It's repeating. There's nothing new being created. Oh, this is supposed to be another. I'm just gonna redo this whole video.